everybody. Tonight we're going to be talking about these two sliders from JUZHEDC and the adapters which allow you to use these as cover plates. So please stick around and I'll show you what I can. So this is available in a variety of materials. Here's a picture of just the basics. It used to be available in a variety of G10 colors, black with different colors mixed in. I don't see that anymore. I'm really not seeing many G10 at all. But I think you can get the basic metals in different finishes. This I think is a blasted or satin finish. And I called this the Infinity. I'm not 100% sure that's the right name. This one is called the 4-track. As far as I can tell, it's mechanical. This one is a magnetic 2-track ball slider. This one is a mechanical, and I just reviewed this one. I'll put links to both reviews. I've done reviews on both. I'll put a link to both down in the comments and the description. And if you are planning on getting one of these, make sure, well, it may matter to you, it might not, but I would go for the latest and greatest. Mine, you'll notice, is a V1. These magnets are all glued in. Here is a picture of what the V2s look like. All the metal ones should have a little set screw right next to each one of the magnets so that they're not glued in anymore. Which I guess means, if they break, you could replace them if something happened. Maybe you could try different strength magnets. So I would go for V2 on this. Be aware too also that the G10 version of this does not come with the screwed in. You still have to get that with the glued in magnets. So yep, these things can go on these things. I'll just do a quick little reminder of what this is like, in case you can't remember or aren't familiar. It's set up for 2 clicks right now. There's 6 balls in each track. You could take 2 more out, put 4 balls on each track, and you get 1 extra click. So it would be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll do it here and show you. We're not in a hurry, right? Is that right? Yep, that's right. So it still works really well, except it gets a little bit floppy out here. So I tend to keep it in the 2-track mode. But that is how that works. Now you have a free-floating slider, which works pretty well. The magnets could stand to be a little bit stronger. That's what I went back and looked at my original review on this. That's what I thought then, that's what I think now. So hopefully on that version 2, if it doesn't come with strong enough magnets, maybe you can get stronger magnets. If you were to get the G10 one, it wouldn't matter at all probably because it's so light. And I've been debating about getting the G10 one because it would work probably better than this does with these adapters on there. So let's just gather all of our parts. These I'll show you here. Let's finish talking about this one here. Just a quick reminder in case you haven't seen the video that I did recently. So yeah, it's got a tuning fork mechanism in the middle here that you can feel vibrate. You can either have it in the dense pattern on the right or a staggered standards type of pattern on the left. There's a little ball plunger on the inside and you can pick which side you want it to be on. I have it on the dense side and I have it on the strongest spring ball plunger that was available. And it's kind of subtle. I like that. But I do wish maybe just to experience it to be a little bit stronger than that. I might look into that. But with what they gave me, I haven't looked at what I have. I know I have other ball plungers that would probably fit. I could try, and even different material ball plungers. But I'm pretty happy with that. Anyhow, that's how both of those work. Okay, I had to start over there. I made a little mistake, and at the same time I noticed my camera was really overheating, so I gave it a chance to cool down. But these are the little slugs, and I'm hoping that'll be in focus enough for you to tell what's going on. There's a flat side and a round side. That'll make a little more sense in a second. What we want to do is just separate these, and remember how thick that is. That's pretty thick. It's thicker than what I'm used to. It's probably one of my thicker ones. It's about to get an awful lot thicker. All we have to do is remove these top pieces, bottom pieces, and replace them with whichever one attracts. You see, without these little tabs in place, this thing's free to slide all over the place. What we want to do is put one of those adapters in each one of these. So, one important thing to point out about these, they're flat on one side because they're going to lay in this side, which is flat. They're round on the other side because this is round, and they're going to lay in that when they're sandwiched together. So I'm going to try to hold this with my tweezers over my hand and then show you another little feature. Let me get it in focus. How can I do that with, maybe if I, because I have to touch my screen to focus. There we go. That's a little bit better. There is a, there's a tiny ledge on this side. Let me see if I can get a reflection off of it. So there's a ledge on the rounded side. It sticks out further on this side than it does on the right side. And that's kind of important because we want that part that sticks out to point in. So we want to locate these so that the little extra extended part points in. Again, maybe I'll hold it a little differently this time. Maybe that'll make it easier to see. On the, well, it doesn't want to focus, does it? On the left side, there's a little ledge. On the right side, there's not. That little ledge that sticks out, I want to have it pointing towards the middle. So yeah, the little edges point to the middle, and it's a shame that that's sort of a, you can tell that that's a correction on their part. They didn't really plan this ahead. Either that or they made a mistake and they corrected it afterwards. But they could have made this without that little ledge, and it wouldn't matter which way you put them in. But it does matter, because if you put them in with those little edges facing out, then they stick out too far for the limits of these tracks. So I think this was the one that had the magnetic attraction. Yes? No. It's this one. So see, now this will drop right on there. Just like that. Let's do the other side. Whoops. It's awfully tiny little ledge, but you'll see it. The other thing I forgot to mention on the other side before we closed it up was that we want to make sure that these are all fully seated, because sometimes, I'm glad they gave me 10, because a couple of them might be just a little bit out of spec. What you want to do is sort of hold it sideways and look and see if there's any gaps, if these are sticking up anywhere, if it's looking funny. And if it is, see if you can't wiggle it down into place or push it down in. Sometimes it'll pop down in. After looking closer, I didn't look close enough. This one here is pretty bad. I'm going to try to put it in again. There we go. Yeah, if it doesn't look like it's going in and it's not being cooperative for you, just pull it back out and try it again. Reseat it. I'm going to take a look at that other side, because I'll bet I didn't do a good job with those either. 3 of the 4 of these were not seated very well. When you're looking straight down on it, they look great, but when you look at it from the side, you can really tell whether or not you got it in there. So now that should fit nicely. Let's double check this side. It's not difficult. Okay, those are all in. Maybe they went in nice the first time, or maybe putting the lid on kind of wiggled them down in. Either way, they can be a little bit of a, see, that one popped out pretty easy. They can be a little bit tricky to get in the whole way. Just make sure they're in the whole way, and that way that this will sit flush. I imagine if they're not in the whole way, you might feel this wiggle. But now, look how thick this bugger is. And being stainless steel, it's fairly heavy too. Let's get these out of the way. Although, the fact that it's a mechanical, it's just the idea of carrying something this thick and this heavy in your pocket. That's the thing. So I'm tempted to go and try the G10 version, but I don't know, because it's like $75, $80. It'd be more than that after ship. Well, I don't do shipping with AliExpress, but you know, it's going to add up. I don't think I'm going to go for it. I really wanted to know what this was like. I'm happy. I love modularity, things like that, interchangeability. And I already had the infinity slider, and then this thing came out, and I'm really into mechanicals now. So, yeah. Pretty neat. I like having the ability to do that. It was worth the $20 to me. So that's what I think. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. I don't know if I said, I'm sure I said, maybe I didn't, but these did come from InsWork Store, and I'm sure if you contacted them behind the scenes, they could probably do the same thing for you. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. I know probably not a lot of people have these yet. There's not many out yet, and I don't know anybody else that got one. And if you saw my video on the newer one, the mechanical one, it's a little complicated. But yeah. Anyhow, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.